This Seniors Empowerment Workshop session is being organized by the independent community consulting firm, ICCF. ICCF received this funding from the federal government of Canada through the New Horizon for Seniors program for 2023 to 2024 to support Black seniors with mental health conditions to combat the lingering psychological effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. ICCF is a Black-led community-based organization whose mandate and activities are to promote social development through local networking and building of community support systems. ICCF is dedicated to the educational advancement of our members in the Black, visible minority, and immigrant communities in Northeast Waterloo, Ontario. We coordinate socially inclusive information sharing workshops for vulnerable individuals that facilitates the development of basic social interactive community involvement of seniors and youths, advocacy, assistive technology training, project management, and other social skills. ICCF achieves its mandate and upholds its vision by providing direct services to as much as 120 community members annually. These services include: number 1, facilitating the transfer of employment and business knowledge to Black and immigrant youth and young adults. Number 2, increasing accessibility to social programming for Black seniors to improve their community engagement and combat social isolation and loneliness. Number 3, providing a social and advocacy support system for women impacted by violence and connect them with appropriate social and injustice systems. Number 4, social development research, project proposal development, strategy planning, and management training. And number 5, combat food insecurity through the provision of nutritional food to vulnerable families. Welcome to the Seniors Better Living Workshop. This session focuses on seniors' goal setting and personal development, what physical exercise is required for seniors first thing in the morning, and what are some potential list items on seniors' to-do list. According to a study published in the European Heart Journal, which analyzed more than 1 million older adults, simply exercising roughly 1 hour more per week than usual was linked to an 11% lower risk of heart disease. What's more, the same research found that stopping physical activity around the age of 60 results in a 27% higher risk of heart disease. Exercise is an excellent way to jumpstart your day with a vigorous boost of energy and enhances your sleep. Morning exercise has also been shown to improve decision-making skills and overall cognition for the remainder of the day in older individuals, per this research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine. It all begs the question, what are the exercises you should do? Firstly, perform some hip bridges. This exercise is simple, easily mastered by beginners, and offers plenty of health benefits that are particularly attractive for older individuals. This basic hip exercise is perfect for isolating, targeting, and ultimately strengthening both the glutes and hamstrings. Proper hip raises can also improve core strength and work out lower back muscles. You don't need any equipment to perform hip bridges. Begin by lying down with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Make sure your back is firmly square on the floor, and from there, squeeze your buttocks and push your hips into the air. Pause for a moment, then lower your hips back downward. Next, go for a brisk walk. Taking a morning walk offers loads of health benefits. To start, per the Heart Foundation, all it takes is a half-hour walk each day to cut your risk of heart disease by as much as 35 to 40%. Walking can also foster a longer lifespan in general. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reports walking for around a half hour each day cuts risk of death by up to 30%. Next, do some stretches. Stretching represents a calmer, less strenuous way to start your day the right way. According to Livestrong, a morning stretching regimen can help improve your posture, reduce aches and pains, and provide a nice energy boost. Moreover, the American Heart Association recommends stretching first thing in the morning after getting out of bed. The Mayo Clinic and the American Council on Exercise tell us that stretching improves blood flow and oxygen circulation throughout the body and brain. More blood flow to the brain means extra cognitive sharpness and concentration skills. Next, do some squats. Research has shown that as you age, doing more squats on a daily basis is one of the keys to a longer, more active life. The simple squat recruits your body's largest muscle groups, helps with balance and posture, strengthens your core, and helps your brain stave off dementia while increasing your bone density. Next, we're going to talk about aging in place. Aging in place means having access to services and the health and social supports you need to live safely and independently in your home or your community for as long as you wish or are able. If you are a near senior or senior who is thinking about aging in place and would like to know more about what you may need to do to prepare for your later years, the Government of Canada has prepared a booklet for you with a checklist to assess how prepared you are to age in place by looking at the following 9 areas of your life. Services and the health and social supports you need to live safely and independently in your home or your community. We will go through each of the 9 following areas. My health, my home, my transportation, my finances, my connections, my safety, my supports and services, my community, and my partner and me, if it is applicable. My health. Think about your state of health as it is now. What can you do now to help ensure a healthy future? And we'll start the checklist for my health. I am physically active and do a variety of physical activities that I enjoy. I eat 7 or more servings of fruit and vegetables in a day. I have a healthy body weight that has remained the same for the past 6 months. I schedule regular appointments for physical, vision, dental, and hearing checkups. I know what screening tests are recommended for my age and discuss these with my doctor. I do not smoke, or I have a plan to quit in the future. If I drink alcohol, I stay below the limits suggested for adults my age. I avoid alcohol when taking medication or check with a doctor or pharmacist first. I generally experience good mental health. I am aware of the signs and symptoms of depression and anxiety, and if they continue, I will take steps to address them. I keep my mind active through a variety of interests and hobbies, such as reading. I know how to keep my bones healthy and strong, and have discussed this with my doctor or other healthcare professional. I have talked with my doctor about my pre-existing medical condition and what services and supports I may need as I age. I am aware of my family's medical history and have talked with my doctor about what I can do now to maintain my health and how my healthcare needs may change as I age. I am aware of electronic tools such as medication reminders and health management systems that will allow me to remain healthy. Now we're going to talk about my home. Think about the home you live in now. Do you plan to live there when you are 70 or 80 years of age or older? Do you own or rent? If you rent, your ability to make changes to your home to support your needs may be limited. Consider what you can do to age in place as a renter or homeowner. And now we will go through the checklist of my home. My home is in a location where I will not feel isolated in my later years and is close to services, friends, and family. I have thought about current and future costs of staying in my home. For example, mortgage or rent, condo fees, taxes, repairs, and maintenance, and whether I can afford to live there as I age. I can afford to pay for services, for example, house cleaning and yard maintenance, to maintain my home if needed. If I find myself living alone in the future, I can manage it on my own. I recognize safety risks in my home and have taken steps to fix them. I have spoken to my landlord or condo board to find out if changes can be made to my current home. The features in my home will adequately support my mobility and health needs over the next 10 to 15 years. For example, entryways and doorways that can be accessed by a walker, bathroom walls that can support the installation of handrails, and the like. In the future, I will make changes as needed to my home to help me age in place. For example, night lights in the stair areas, solid handrails on both sides of the staircase, and a grab bar in the tub area. If my health changes and I need to use a wheelchair or another mobility device, I am prepared to modify my home to accommodate my needs. For example, widen doorways, build a ramp, or install a walk-in bathtub. If I am no longer able to remain in my current home, I am aware of other available housing options in my community. I have thought about reducing my belongings and/or moving to a smaller home. Next, we'll talk about my transportation. Think about the type or types of transportation you use now. Do you plan to continue traveling in the same way when you are older? Now we'll go through the checklist of my transportation. If I am able to continue driving, I plan to take a refresher course to maintain my skills and knowledge of the rules and regulations. I talk to my doctor and/or pharmacist about how my health conditions and the medications used to manage them can impact my ability to drive safely. I am aware of and have access to alternate means of transportation if needed. For example, walk, bus, taxi, volunteer driving programs, and carpool. I have thought about what it costs to run and maintain my own vehicle compared to the cost of other means of transportation. I plan to take up or increase walking or cycling as a healthy and active form of transportation. I am aware of delivery and/or online shopping services I can use if I'm not able to travel. I have thought about my future transportation needs and would be willing to relocate so I can continue to have access to the services I need. Next, we're going to discuss my finances. Think about the state of your finances and your sources of income now. What will they be like when you are 70 or 80 years of age or older? Now we're going to go through the checklist of my finances. I am able to live comfortably within my current income. I have money set aside for unexpected expenses, such as health-related supports and major home repairs. I have someone I trust that I can consult for financial advice when needed. I have thought about my retirement and the kind of lifestyle I would like to have. I have thought about the kinds of supports and services I may need to purchase as I age. For example, cleaning, shopping, yard maintenance, and personal care support. I know how much money is required to sustain the lifestyle I want in the future. I plan to retire debt-free. For example, pay off mortgage and credit cards. I know of ways I could transition to retirement that can maintain or increase my income. For example, work part-time, become a consultant, retire early and try a new career, or start a business on the side and keep it going post-retirement. I plan to have my retirement income based on more than one source. For example, personal savings, Canada Pension Plan, better known as CPP, Registered Retirement Saving Plan, or RRSP, Old Age Security, or OAS, other pensions, investments, and/or employment income. If my living arrangements changed, I could manage financially. I have a plan for who will be responsible for my financial affairs if I am not able to look after them myself. For example, an enduring power of attorney, and have communicated my plan to those involved. I have a will, and my loved ones know where all my important documents are. Next, we'll look at my connections. Think about your social life as it is now. What will it look like when you are older? Now we're going to go through the checklist of my connections. I maintain good relationships with my family members. I have family and friends I can rely on for support if needed. I have someone I can talk to when I need to do so. I have friends I enjoy spending time with, and I nurture the friendships I have. I have friends who are of different ages, some of whom are younger than I am. I enjoy connecting with people through my work and plan to work full or part-time for as long as I am able. I have built deeper relationships with some of my work colleagues who I would like to stay connected with after I retire. I have developed social networks outside of my work. I have considered how I would like to stay connected with my community. I may explore volunteering as a way to contribute to my community and provide social contact. I have explored different ways of connecting with friends and family, such as Skype, FaceTime, or social media. Now we're going to look at my safety. Think about some of the things you do now to protect yourself and reduce the potential for various types of injury, harm, or abuse. Might you have other safety concerns when you are older? What could you do to reduce the risk of these occurring? Now we're going to go through the checklist of my safety. I feel safe in my home and my neighborhood. I know how to protect myself from fraud, abuse, and neglect, including emotional, physical, and financial abuse and neglect. I know falling is a risk, and I know what I can do to decrease this risk. I keep my home uncluttered by removing scatter rugs and other tripping hazards. I keep my walkway clear of snow and ice. I had a fall recently, but I took action to decrease my risk of having another. I have considered using a home monitoring system, personal emergency response system, or a fall detection system to help keep me safe at home. Now we're going to look at my support and services. At some point in your life, you may need help with some activities or with some of the daily needs of living at home. This includes things such as house cleaning, delivery of prepared meals, groceries and prescriptions, snow removal, yard work, dog walking, and personal supports. Would you be able to manage if you could not do these activities for a short or longer period of time? Now we're going to go through the checklist of my support and services. I have thought about what services and supports I may need to remain in my home in the future. I know where to go to find information if I have questions about my care needs or community services. I have talked to family and friends about help I may need in the future so they can prepare accordingly. I have thought of using devices such as video monitoring system, medication reminders, and a personal response service to help me care for myself or a loved one at home. As a caregiver, or if I become a caregiver in the future, I know what resources and respite services are available to help me in this role. If I am a caregiver, I have a plan for self-care to help maintain my own health and well-being. Now we're going to look at my community. Think about the community you live in now. How close are you to a grocery store, a drugstore, a coffee shop, the library, or a restaurant? How much farther do you travel to reach medical offices, a dentist, or a hospital? And how far do you travel to visit family and friends? What features are important to have in your community when you are older? And will your current community meet your future needs? Now we're going to go through the checklist of my community. I am comfortable getting around in my community and will continue to be in the future. I feel safe in my community and know where to report concerns about how to make my community safer. I know what programs and services, for example, shopping, personal services, health and support services, and recreation programs are available in my community. There are activities in my community that interest me, and I know how to find out more about them. In the future, I may move to another community or to another area in my community that is better designed to help older adults to live safely, enjoy good health, and stay involved. This is called an age-friendly community. And now we're going to look at my partner and me. Think about your relationship with your partner as it is now. What changes might you anticipate as you age and your needs change? Now we're going to look at the checklist for my partner and me. What we want to be able to do financially, when we will retire, what options we may explore to work part-time or in a new job, what we will do with our time, what activities we can do together and separately, how aging or changing needs could affect our relationship, where we want to live. My partner and I nurture our relationship and work out any problems. This has been the Senior Better Living Workshop. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.